are London's West End, the home of Theatreland. And for many, Theatreland is the West End musical. From the glamorous and glitzy to the small and intimate. A West End musical can make you laugh. And it can make you cry.
Wait for me, I'm coming.
Whether seeing a West End musical is something you do often or something that's on your bucket list, you may well have asked, what is the best West End musical? Ask Google and you'll get hundreds and hundreds of replies, from critics' choices to the results of public votes, large and small, to the highest grossing, the longest running, the most searched for on Google, the most mentioned on Twitter. To find a definitive answer, we've taken the results of 30 of such lists and combined them into one Uber list, awarded each show based on their ranking in these lists. 10 points awarded for first place, 1 point awarded for 10th place. We then ranked the top 15 of these shows and gave them each a percentage of the total points awarded, to give you what we think is the top 15 definitive list of the West End's best musicals.
Did you hear the story of the Johnston twins? As like each other as two new pins.
Although it closed over a decade ago in the West End, kicking things off at number 15 is Willie Russell's Blood Brothers, taking 1.7%.
They said the bride was lovelier than Marilyn Monroe.
Originally written as a play for schools, Russell added a score in 1983, and the musical settled in the West End at the Albury in 1988, before finding its long-term home at the Phoenix in 1991.
Do you want to be me blood brother, Eddie?
Yes, please.
It remained there for over a quarter of a century, playing over 10,000 performances, making it still the third longest running musical in West End history. According to Wikipedia, previous Mrs. Johnstons include Annika Rice, Debbie McGee, 4 of the 5 Nolan sisters, and Mel C. I can confirm at least that Mel C is true.
Since I became friends with the Heathers.
Listen up, Beyond!
And number 14 is one of the newest musicals on our list, with 1.9%, Heathers.
Salutations. You want a Slurpee with that?
Heathers opened in 2018 at the Other Palace in Victoria. Since then it has flitted between runs at the Haymarket and various touring venues. Based on the 1989 film starring Christian Slater and Winona Ryder, the film is a dark, satirical look at teenage angst. It's very gruesome.
Here to apologize. Help you brought knee pads.
The only thing gruesome about the stage show
Who's next?
is the repetitious caterwauling. It's unlikely that fans of the original film will find much to enjoy from this particular musical.
You look like hell.
Yeah. Well, I just got back.
another recent show, and another musical based on film. At number 13 with 2.1% is Back to the Future, the musical.
You're a slacker, McFly. Face it.
Originally due to hit the stage in 2015 to coincide with the film's 30th anniversary, the show got delayed
1955?
by creative differences. Many of the original team left.
I thought I told you never to come in here.
If they don't meet.
So it wasn't until 2020 that it finally took the stage in Manchester. It was cut short by COVID and closed after a month. It finally arrived in the West End in September 2021. In contrast to Heathers, this one really is for fans of the film. Audiences have loved it, and it's likely to be buoyed by that for a long time. The show won the Olivier for Best New Musical and was nominated for 6 more. Following the newest show on our list is the oldest show on our list. At number 12, it's West Side Story with 2.2%. The original 1958 production of West Side Story ran for just over 1,000 performances at Her Majesty's Theatre, but it's been no stranger to our shores ever since then. In 1974 it played the Shaftesbury, in 1985 back at Her Majesty's, and in 1998 it played the Prince Edward and Prince of Wales. Despite the show's obvious popularity, no West End version has ever won a major London theatre award.
Sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty.
Get out of there. You little stinkwort.
For the film and after the book, and just outside our top 10, at number 11 is Matilda, 3%. Playing originally for 12 weeks in Stratford-upon-Avon, Matilda premiered in November 2011 at the West End's Cambridge Theatre, where it still runs today, 12 years later. Based on the Roald Dahl book of the same name and developed by the Royal Shakespeare Company, the lyrics to Matilda were written by Tim Minchin after Bill Bailey turned down the opportunity as he was too busy. Matilda has picked up awards like other theatres pick up discarded ice cream wrappers. The West End production won 7 of its 10 nominations, the most ever at the time picked up by a single show. But if you look across its Broadway on Australian, they were nominated for 62 awards, of which it won 41. The girl done good. No number 10 is remarkably we have exactly equal number 9 with 3.1%. First up is Tina. This jukebox musical opened at the Aldwych in 2018, where it remains today. It's a story you know, accompanied by songs you know, but with powerhouse performances and a mini gig as the encore. What's not to like? And of course, with the sad recent passing of Miss Turner, it's a very fitting tribute, one which she was involved in and supportive of. It was nominated for 14 London Theatre Awards and 12 Tonys, but sadly only won 1 on each side of the pond. Also with 3.1% and sharing the number 9 spot is that mega musical mashup of poetry, dance and fur-lined costumes, Cats. Cats made its West End premiere in 1981 at the New London Theatre. The theatre has since been renamed after the choreographer of that show, Gillian Lynn. Stayed there for 21 years and played 8,949 performances, making it the longest running musical at the time and still the 5th longest running musical today. Memory was originally due to be sung by Judi Dench, who unfortunately had an accident just before the first night, and her role was taken by Elaine Page. And the rest, as they say, is more than a memory. By 2006, the song had been recorded over 600 times. The original show won 2 of its 6 Olivier Award nominations and 7 of its 11 Tonys. By 2012, the show had grossed over $3.5 billion. Probably best not to say anything about the recent film.
Welcome to Dreamland!
At number 8, with 3.4%, we have Michel Schoenberg and Alan Bubly's other musical, Miss Saigon. This Vietnam-based Madame Butterfly is the Theatre Royal Drury Lane's longest ever running musical. Opening on the 20th September 1989, running for 4,264 performances over the next decade. The scale of the show, which famously includes a helicopter landing right on stage, has led many theatres to have to be fully refurbished in order to host their own productions. 4 cities actually built brand new theatres to do so. The production has won more than 40 awards, including 3 Tonys and 2 Oliviers.
Can you see?
This year, 2023, the first non-replica production is due to be performed at the Sheffield Crucible. The production will also star a female engineer. At number 7, with 4%, it's only the second show on our list to not be based on something else. Of course, it's Hamilton.
Dropped in the middle of a forgotten
It took 2.5 years across the pond, but finally opened at the newly refurbished Victoria Palace in December 2017.
Alexander Hamilton.
The initial run sold out within a day, with top price tickets at £250, the most expensive at the time ever for a West End show. It won 7 of the 13 Oliviers it was nominated for, on top of the 11 Tonys and the Pulitzer Prize.
I wanna be in the room where it happened.
Miranda made 3 small tweaks to some of the songs in order to make them more palatable to British audience. See if you can spot them next time.
Click, boom!
Are the army of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Hello, my name is Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book.
At number 6, with 4.8%, we say hello to the Book of Mormon.
It's a book
about America a long, long time ago.
The West End production
Hello.
opened at the Prince of Wales on March 21st, 2013, exactly 2 years after it opened on Broadway.
It has a lot.
Most people know that Book of Mormon was conceived by the writers of South Park.
My name is Jesus Christ.
But the idea to write about Joseph Smith came from a meeting that the guys had with the creators of Avenue Q, a show for which South Park had been highly influential.
You the secret to eternal life. Sound good? Eternal life.
The day after opening, it took £2.1 million. Having already won 9 of its 14 Tony nominations, it went on to win 4 of its 6 Oliviers.
I believe that in 1978 God changed his mind about black people.
Not everyone is a fan. The Guardian calls it a mildly amusing musical with some knowingly parodic songs. The top 5 got 2/3 of the total vote available. After the 15, 5 were from the 80s, 5 from the 2010s, only 2 from the 90s, almost no representatives from the early 2000s. What was going on in the 2000s? Some of the longest running shows in the West End ever, like Stomp, You Will Rock Me, Billy Elliot, Thriller Live, Jersey Boys. Big shows that ran for a long time. That have completely gone from the audience's memory. Anyway, let's get back to the top 5 of the best West End musicals. So, kicking off with 10% is arguably the show that put jukebox musicals on the map. It's Mamma Mia. The ABBA musical opened at the Prince Edward Theatre on the 6th of April 1999. It's since moved to the Prince of Wales, where it became the longest ever running musical at that venue. Before moving again to the Novello, where it set a record for the highest ever weekly growth. Its continuous presence in the West End makes it the 4th longest running musical ever. 1 in 10 people in the UK have now seen the show in London. But Mamma Mia is truly global. It has played more than 50 countries around the world and as a complete show on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. The show never got critics excited, however. Across the Tonys and Oliviers, it picked up a total of 9 nominations, but only took home 1 for Best Supporting Actress in London. But having entertained over 65 million people and grossed over $4 billion, who gives a fig what the critics think? After the niceties of Mamma Mia, at number 4 with 13.3% is something a little more wicked. Wicked was safely ensconced in Broadway for over 3 years before it opened at the Apollo Victoria September 27, 2006. The show celebrated its 6,000th performance in July 2022.
And with an assist from me.
Wicked is inspired by the 1995 novel Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. Though some political metaphor remains in the show, it's fair to say that the musical has more Disney glamour than the book's social commentary gloom. The original Broadway show made a household name of Idina Menzel. When Menzel reprised her role for the London opening, she was paid a little under $500,000 for the run, or $30,000 a week. making her the highest ever paid female performer in the West End. The longer-awaited film version is finally being made, but you still have a while to wait. The first part of the two-part film is set for release on November the 27th, 2024, with the second due until Christmas Day the following year. Since opening, both the Broadway and West End productions have been nominated every single year for some theatre award.
Illumination, gentlemen!
Entering the top three with 14.9%, it's Andrew Lloyd Webber's masterpiece, Phantom of the Opera. Phantom opened on the 9th of October 1986 at Her Majesty's Theatre, now renamed His Majesty's Theatre. It hasn't changed venue. On press night, Lloyd Webber was so nervous that he left at the interval rather than face the audience reaction. He need not have worried. Today, Phantom's been seen by over 140 million people in 183 cities across 41 countries. The post-COVID production has been named a budget Phantom, with large set pieces having been removed, props gone, and the orchestra reduced from 27 to 14. It is the second longest running West End musical, with over 14,000 performances to date. Though the Broadway production closed in April 2023, the show remains the longest running show there, a record it will keep until at least 2031, because that's how maths works. Across its West End and Broadway productions, it won 24 major awards, including 7 Tonys. Just missing out on the top spot by a little over 2%. At number 2, it's Disney's The Lion King. The Lion King opened at the Lyceum Theatre on the 18th of December 1999, where it has now played more than 7,500 performances. The Lion King is the only Disney musical to make it into this list, but it might be different if this was done for Broadway. There, Disney's been responsible for over 20 musicals, 4 of which in the top 25 longest ever running. Here, The Lion King is the only one to have done similar. With lyrics by our very own Sirs Elton John and Tim Rice, The Lion King took the top earning title in box office history from The Phantom of the Opera. In September 2014, as of 2017, the show has grossed $8.1 billion worldwide. The original Broadway production picked up 6 of its 11 Tony nominations, but the West End only won 2 of its 8 Olivier nominations. Further highlighting the different reception we have to Disney, perhaps. Before we announce number 1, here's a reminder of the chart so far from 15 to 2. Kicking things off at 15, we'll tell you it is true for Willie Russell's Blood Brothers. Murdering some songs as well as their schoolmates is Heathers at 14. At 13, proof there's still the power of love for Back to the Future. There's a place for West Side Story somewhere And that's at number 12. At 11, No Need to Be Quiet for the Revolting Friends of Matilda. An equal ninth, it's simply one of the best jukebox musicals, Tina. And sharing ninth spot is The Memory of Cats. The heat is on at number 8 from Miss Saigon.
Dreamland!
And Howelton isn't going to miss his shot at 7. Just outside the top 5, at number 6, I believe it's the Book of Mormon.
It has.
I made up my mind.
My, how can I resist? Mamma Mia at 5. At number 4, it's the wickedly popular Wicked. And the Phantom of the Opera, it's not just inside my mind, it's at 3. And at number 2, we can all feel the love tonight for Disney's The Lion King. Which means there's probably only one show that can be at number 1. Taking the top spot with 17.4%, and with more number 10 than The Lion King and Phantom put together, it is, perhaps unsurprisingly, Les Miserables. Burbley and Schoenberg's take on Victor Hugo's novel was originally produced as a concept album in 1980 and performed in France. But the show we know now premiered at the Barbican on October the 8th, 1985, before a transfer to the West End proper at the Palace Theatre on the 4th of December of that same year. It was there for 19 years before transferring to the Smaller Queens on April 3rd, 2004, where, apart from a brief spell at the Gilded during refurbishment, a revised version still runs. Les Miserables became the longest running West End musical in July 2019. The only show in the West End that has run for longer is The Mousetrap.
The beating of the drums.
To date, there have been 4 UK tours and multiple concert versions, including the 10th anniversary at the Royal Albert Hall and the 25th at the O2. Famously, the initial reviews were not favourable. Critics called it a lurid Victorian melodrama, witless and synthetic, songs that were unmemorable, save for one quite rousing beer hall number. Although it has a global revenue of $2.7 billion, in context, that's still only a quarter of The Lion King, and $1 billion less than both Cats and Wicked. Les Miserables has now been performed in 53 countries and 22 languages and won over 100 international awards. Taking the film version into account, 1 in every 8th person across the world has seen the show.